You may think that you're getting tweets from your favorite movie star or athlete or politician on Twitter, but just how can you be sure that it's really them? A number of famous people have been targeted by imposters who open accounts and tweet under the celebrity's identity. And now Twitter is going to introduce a new verification system to ensure that celebrities are who they say they are. Will it work? Joining us now is Nicholas Thompson. He's the senior editor at Wired magazine. First of all, before we get into what they're going to do, how big a problem is this? How many celebrities are being impersonated?
Well, in quantity, it's a huge problem. I would imagine that every celebrity has an impersonating account. Type in any celebrity name on Twitter, something will pop up, and usually it's just a fan. How big a problem is it? There aren't that many celebrities that actually have damaging impersonators. There are a few, but it's not as bad as you might think from the number of impersonators out there.
But some of these people can cause concern, at the very least, if not damage. There was a fellow who was tweeting under the name of Ben Roethlisberger, said he had skin cancer. You know, suddenly that starts firing around the sports world. That creates a little bit of difficulty for Ben.
I mean, that's terrible. And people who tweet under somebody's name and actually appear realistic can build up a whole lot of followers, and then they can do a lot of damage to the athlete's reputation or to the celebrity's reputation.
All right, so what's Twitter doing about this?
So this summer they're going to start a new service, and it's going to be verified by Twitter. And if it's the real person and they contact Twitter, they'll put a little stamp, and it says, this account is verified, this is the real John Roberts or whoever.
So how do they do the verification?
Well, we don't know. They've just said they're going to do it. We don't exactly know how
they haven't actually put it in the nuts and bolts in place
So the
yet,
problem with Twitter right now, so this is a big problem. They would need lots of people to work on this. Twitter doesn't have any money because they don't have a revenue stream. So how are they going to hire the people to do this? We don't know. They're going to get venture capital. They might actually charge celebrities for this service. So that might actually turn into a great revenue stream for Twitter.
Can you imagine the first attempt to monetize Twitter? But this isn't for everybody either, is it? This is just for, I think the way that they describe it is, it's for, quote, public officials, public agencies, famous artists, athletes, other well-known individuals at risk of impersonation. But what about regular folks? You know, the woman who's got the crazy ex-boyfriend, they may impersonate her and, you know, send out damaging information about her. Scammers, there's lots of scammers out there as well.
So those are two separate problems. The first problem, are people going to impersonate the regular people? Yes, they will. It's a little bit of a problem, but most people who want to say, follow me, don't type in Nick Thompson into, in search in Twitter, because I'm not a celebrity, so there aren't a lot of random people typing in my name. The people who follow me are my friends who type in my email address, which they have in their address book, and then they follow me. So the impersonator would have to include the person they want to follow's email address. So it's slightly harder to scam the regular person. The second question is, will there be other kinds of scams besides like the manic ex-boyfriend? I think absolutely. You're going to see stock scams. You might actually see impersonating athletes putting out information about Ben Roethlisberger having skin cancer before a big game to move the betting line.
Right.
I mean, Twitter moves information extremely quickly, 10 times the speed at half the accuracy, and there are a lot of people who can make money off that.
I was also interested to see that Twitter does allow for parody impersonation.
Right. Well, I mean, and they should. I mean, this is America. You can have Tina Fey impersonating Sarah Palin. So if you make it clear that your Twitter account is a parody, Twitter won't shut you down.
So how would you make it clear that you're a parody?
Well, you could say, remember there was a blog called The Fake Steve Jobs. You could set up the fake Nick Thompson if you wanted to, set up a fake account parodying me.
So what's your sense of this Twitter thing? Is it going to last? And I ask this question because, we do Twitter here at CNN on our AM Fix website, and I've got my own, and Kieran's got her own.
I follow you.
And well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll have to start following you. But here's the thing. It's too damn much work. I don't have enough time to be sitting there tweeting everything that I do during the day. So do you really think that this is going to last?
Well, this is a very interesting question. It will last in some form. But there's a lot of data suggesting that Twitter has a retention problem. People join Twitter and then they leave. And they leave for the reasons that you're explaining. Either there's too much information coming in or it's too much of a burden to put the information out. So
a lot of the information coming in is like...
well, it's very hard to sort through.
Trivial would be to elevate it to a different level.
Well, I think Twitter's hope and everybody's hope is that people become more sophisticated in the way they use Twitter. They don't just tweet that, I'm eating salad for breakfast right now, or I'm eating eggs for breakfast right now.
Well, I'm following Lance Armstrong. One of the tweets I got from Lance this morning was, I'm awake. Well, that's good, Lance. We're glad you're awake. We love Lance Armstrong, but do I need to know that he's awake?
Well, the great thing is you can unfollow Lance Armstrong then if he posts too many things like that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that because I want to see what he's doing for the tour.
And his tweets are generally pretty interesting.
Yeah, most of them are. A lot of baby pictures in the last couple of days, too. But, Lance, big friend of the show, so we're going to keep following him. Great.